This is Scott from KIG. It's March 8th, 2016, and we're going to run off and test this 2010 Donaldson 10-ton air-cooled chiller. This unit's model UC-0240SP, serial number 49472, and there's your manufacture date right there. To February of 2010. In this case here, we're getting this ready for a customer in Texas. They're going to be chilling down in the 50 or 60 range based on our conversation with the supplier of a laminator to their factory. Our first video here is we're going to have the side covers off, just showing you some components on the inside. We do have all the side covers, including the top of the insulated cylindrical tank. Here we have our Copeland 10 horsepower scroll compressor. We actually have two different high pressure switches, one for your standard high pressure alarm, and the other one's a redundant safety set a few psi higher, which will actually turn the compressor off for a fail-safe condition. Right now we have glycol in the tank. It probably should be a little bit higher than that, but this is suitable for testing. That's your float switch. As long as you're 2 or 3 inches from the top, that float switch will be working. We just kind of have it clipped off to the side now because we're a little bit short of what you should have in a real manufacturing environment. Because we're chilling to about 50 F, you really don't need glycol, but for the manufacturer of the laminator, suggested that you use as much as 30 or 40%. We think that's a little bit high because that's kind of what you would use for a low temperature application. But it won't hurt the unit. The more glycol or the higher glycol percentage rather, you just have to take into consideration your derating of the chiller. The more glycol you use, the less heat transfer as compared to straight water. But some glycol is always helpful, of course, for rust prohibitors. Here we have our power head or our thermo expansion valve, our low pressure switch, our Grundfos pump here. Now you see that little slot there? Upon startup, you should be able to peek in there. It'll take 2 people just to confirm the rotation. It's a 3-phase machine. It is phase specific. The easiest way to do that is looking at the pump and make sure your rotation is consistent with the arrow on the body of the pump. It should be in the manual also. In this case here, your piping connections are actually on the inside of the unit. There's some barbed fittings here, so you need some sturdy 1-inch flexible hose. And you have your shutoffs are included in the chiller. That's your incoming there. That's your outgoing. So what we're actually doing is we are drawing off the tank and we are, pumping out to the process. Then it comes back in through this filter and then through the braze plate exchanger. That's where your refrigeration takes place. There is a fixed orifice or fixed diameter hose that is effectively your bypass, and we also have your shutoff there out to the process. The fans on these units actually have a small AC frequency VFD drive built right into it. Although these are not weather rated to be outdoors, they definitely have a high and relatively low ambient range as compared to your typical indoor chiller. I think it's like up to 120 Fahrenheit or something like that for your outdoor ambient capability. You have to have the side covers on for proper airflow, and we're going to put those side covers on right now and start the unit up.